Almighty blessings. Warm welcome to all for the 5-day online internship program on renewable energy resources and its applications. I am Dr. A.N. Sita Lashmi, working as an assistant professor of physics, who is going to define something about bioenergy and alternate energy resources for power generation. Due to rapid industrialization and population growth, the conventional energy resources are not sufficient to meet the growing demand. So, it is must to explore more and more renewable energy resources. Moreover, development of such sort of renewable energy resources are environmental friendly. You may ask, such sort of development of renewable energy may act as substitute for conventional energy resources. At this present situation, I can say no, and it can act only as supplement, not as substitute. Years yet to come, and it is purely depending upon younger generation hands to develop more research in technical aspects to make this renewable energy as a substitute for conventional energy resources. Keeping all these in mind, Ministry of New and Renewable Energy Resources allotting more fund for doing research in this field. Now let us see what are the challenges in front of us in the modern world. Environmental pollution, foreign exchange wastage, human welfare degradation, reduction of natural resources, acid rain, energy deficiency, global warming, deforestation and desertification. One of the major challenge in front of us is energy deficiency. If any country want to be a developed position, it has to utilize more energy as much as possible. If we focus what are the available energy resources in that sense, there are two sort of energy sources. One is conventional energy resources and another one is new and renewable energy resources. Usage of conventional energy resources like petrol, coal and kerosene will yield loss of money as well as environmental pollution. Extracting coal, oil and gas is dangerous and can be polluting, and their fossil fuels are non-renewable. As we use up easily accessible sources of coal, oil and gas, extracting them become harder, more expensive and more dangerous. Burning fossil fuels for both heating as well as fuel for vehicles is the main source of greenhouse gases like carbon dioxide and others, which affect the atmosphere and are altering the climate. While the Paris Agreement marked a significant recognition of the efforts needed to reduce global co-emissions to near pre-industrial temperatures, the UN Program Report 2019 remarks that greenhouse gas emissions will need to fall drastically by 7.6% each year until 2030 to meet the targets of the agreement. Nuclear power is extremely expensive to produce, requires great attention to safety because of the risks from radioactivity, has the potential for catastrophic accidents and produce waste products which require looking after for 1,000 years. While it has the potential to generate a lot of electricity, the risks are high and the same investment in insulations, energy efficiency and renewable energy resources would produce great benefits and fewer risks. Using renewable energy over fossil fuels has a number of advantages. Renewable energy technologies use resources straight from the environment to generate power. These energy sources include sunshine, wind, tides and biomass, to name some of the more popular options. Renewable resources won't run out, which cannot be set function for many types of fossil fuels. As we use fossil fuels resources They will be increasingly difficult to obtain, likely driving up both the cost and environment impact of extractions. Renewables lower reliance on foreign energy resources. Among these renewable energy, I am going to concentrate bioenergy. What is bioenergy? The energy obtained from biomass is known as bioenergy or biomass energy. Biomass is any organic matter, both living and dead, and ranges from plants to organic waste. In most cases, biomass rich in oil or sugar is ideal for energy production. The term bioenergy refers to energy obtained from organisms either living or dead. This does not include fossil fuels. Now let us see what are the classification of biomass residues. Biomass residues can be categorized into four types. One is forestry biomass, second one agricultural biomass, third one energy crops, fourth one municipal solid waste. Forestry biomass can be categorized into three types: primary, secondary and tertiary. Trunks of fully grown trees are under the category of primary forestry biomass. Branches of big trees and trunks of small trees are under the category of secondary forestry biomass. The biomass derived after the processing of primary biomass, that is called tertiary forestry biomass. And the second category is agricultural biomass. Biomass from agricultural industries or agro-industrial residues are under the category of agricultural biomass, as well as dung of animals and poultry waste, which are also under the category of agricultural biomass. Then we concentrate about the third biomass residues, namely energy crops. Woody biomass producing species like bamboo, pine, switchgrass, etc., as well as starch producing species like root crops, etc., are all under the category of energy crops. And then the fourth category of biomass residues are municipal solid waste, sewage sludge, domestic cattle waste, paper waste from offices and educational institutions are all under the category of municipal solid waste. These biomass residues are available plenty in nature. Biomass contains stored energy from the sun. Plants absorb the sun's energy in a process called photosynthesis. When biomass is burnt, the chemical energy in biomass is released as heat. Biomass can be burned directly or converted to liquid biofuels or biogas that can be burned as fuels. So these are the pictorial representation of woody biomass materials as well as agricultural and agro-industrial wastes. Now let us see what is the technology behind this to convert these biomass residue into bioenergy. I have already told that we have to utilize or adopt proper technology in order to use this biomass residue in a economical as well as environmental friendly aspect. As a physicist, we know the main law behind this technology is law of energy. That is, the energy can neither be created nor be destroyed, but one sort of energy can be converted into another sort of energy. So that is the main concept, main law we are using to this technology. The available bioenergy can be converted into thermal, mechanical and then electrical energy. The first step is we have to convert the biomass residues into bioenergy. The basic concept is biomass gasification, that is the conversion of solid fuels into combustible gas mixture or producer gas. For this, we are in need of a gasifier unit, which is nothing but a closed container in which we are going to put the biomass residues, and due to direct combustion, the available biomass energy is converted into bioenergy. This is the gasifier unit, which is having 4 distinct zones. One is drying zone, another one is pyrolysis zone. In this pyrolysis zone, decomposing of organic materials at a high temperature in the absence of oxygen is taken place, and the third zone is combustion zone. Here only chemical changes occurs which will produce heat and light, and the fourth zone is named as reduction zone. What is biomass gasification? Biomass gasification means incomplete combustion of biomass resulting in production of combustible gases consisting of carbon monoxide, hydrogen and traces of methane. This mixture is called producer gas. Producer gas can be used to run internal combustion engines, which can be used as substitute for furnace oil in direct heat applications and can be used to produce in an economically viable way. Methanol, an extremely attractive chemical feedstock for industries. Since any biomass material can undergo gasification, this process is much more attractive than ethanol productions or biogas, where only selected biomass materials can produce the fuel. Using this technology, there are several biomass based power plants or generating electricity in Tamil Nadu. This photograph represents one of the biomass based power plant at Eppodum Vendam, Tamil Nadu. The plant generates 20 megawatt electricity using only biomass residues. The generated electricity is given to the Tamil Nadu Electricity Board. Now we know the technological aspects. In the implementation or application purpose, what are the main elements they are in need, that is the biomass based power plant in need in order to convert the energy. Number one is boiler unit, which converts the energy available in the fuels into thermal energy, which is nothing but a gasifier unit. And then the second one is steam turbine unit, which convert the available thermal energy into mechanical energy. And the third one is an alternate unit, which converts mechanical energy into electrical power. So these are the three main elements they are in need in order to convert the available bioenergy into electrical energy. Let us see one by one. The first unit is boiler unit or gasifier unit. The boiler, which is named as a travelling grate combustion boiler, in which the biomass residues are taken, and due to direct combustion the available energy in the solid fuel is converted into bioenergy. This combustion boiler can maintain temperature from 719 degrees Celsius to 900 degrees Celsius. The second unit is steam turbine unit. So this steam turbine unit is placed above the boiler. So we have to place this steam turbine above the biomass gasifier. You have to imagine. Now what is the input or where is the input for steam turbine in that sense? From RO plant. Why we are concentrating RO plant? In order to maintain the elements from rust free, we are using RO plant. So the water from RO plant is fed into economizer. Economizer, which is nothing but some sort of heater, which can increase the temperature of the input water up to 300 degrees Celsius, and then the steam, now 300 degrees Celsius, in that sense the water becomes steam, and then the steam is fed into the steam drum. Now you can imagine this steam drum is placed above the boiler so that the temperature of the steam is little bit enhanced up to 500 degrees Celsius, and then which is fed into the turbine unit. Now the steam temperature, due to this high temperature, the pressure is enhanced, so that the turbine going to rotate. Here the thermal energy is converted into mechanical energy. This is the turbo generator unit. The inlet pressure of the turbine will be 64 kg per centimeter square. The RPM rotation per minute of the turbine is 2984, which is fed into an alternative unit, that is generator. Here the thermal mechanical energy is converted into electrical energy. This is the overall technical representation of the biomass based power plant. In this picture you can see the hot gas unit, which is nothing but the boiler unit. Here only we are going to put the biomass residues. Due to direct combustion, the available energy in the biomass solid fuel is converted into bioenergy. This bioenergy is given to the steam drum. The steam drum, which is placed above the boiler. Already the steam drum having the temperature up to 300 degrees Celsius, since it is from the steam is from economizer. Now it is placed above the boiler. In that sense, the temperature of the steam drum is little bit enhanced up to 600 degrees Celsius. That now the steam which is fed into the turbine, thereby the thermal energy is converted into mechanical energy, and then using the alternator unit or generator, the mechanical energy is converted into electrical energy. The generated electrical energy is given to the Tamil Nadu Electricity Board. Thus, they are generating electricity from the biomass residues. Okay. You may ask one thing, how it is eco-friendly. In order to make this process in eco-friendly aspect, they are using one unit, namely electrostatic precipitator, which is working under the principle of Rankine cycle technology, which will completely remove the suspended particulate matter as well as ash. Then only after removing this ash and suspended particulate matter, the flue gas is fed into a chimney or stack. Above the stacks, the flue gas is emitted. The flue gas is monitored by the pollution control board. So thus the bioenergy is converted into electrical energy in environmental friendly aspect. Now let us focus the economical aspects of power generation. The biomass based power plant, using 330 tons of biomass residues, they are generating 240 megawatt electricity per day. That is, using 12 to 13 tons of biomass residues per hour, they are generating 10 megawatt electricity per hour. Okay, so totally the 240 megawatt electricity is generated per day. The production cost is rupees 2.30 per unit of electricity generation. They are giving to Tamil Nadu Electricity Board for 6 to 8 rupees. So totally speaking, this sort of power generation is economical also. So thus we are having some sort of information, that is this using this technology we can generate electricity environmental friendly as well as economical friendly aspect. Before using the biomass residues in the biomass based power plant, we have to do some sort of characterization like physicochemical properties analysis. The fundamental techniques for thermal analysis is proximate analysis, calorific value analysis, and then elemental analysis. In this proximate analysis, we have to determine what is moisture content, fixed carbon content, volatile matter, and ash content. So moisture content is the determinant factor which will tell whether the material is ready to use or not in order to achieve the expected efficiency. And then calorific value, which is also one of the determinant factor, which will give the information of higher heating value. And the calorific value is purely depending upon the volatile matter, that is the chemical composition which is present in the biomass residues. And then we have to concentrate the elements like the carbon, hydrogen, oxygen. Higher proportion of carbon content and lower proportion of oxygen content will yield more efficiency, and therefore we are in need of to check the CHO content of the biomass residues. So this is the fundamental lab characterization we have to do before using the biomass residues. To do proximate analysis, we are in need of bomb calorimeter and hot air oven. I have applied for minor research project to UGC. They have sanctioned 2 lakhs. Using this, I have purchased the equipment and did the proximate analysis using the woody materials, Prosopis juliflora, Casuarina equisetifolia and Glidicidia cpm, which are available inside the college campus. Prosopis juliflora, Velikaravel maram, Casuarina equisetifolia, Saukku maram, Glidicidia cpm, seaweed larvae. So, using these 3 materials, I have did the proximate analysis. The table shows that these materials are having less than 10% moisture contents and having high volatility, nearest to 75%. The calorific value of these 3 materials nearest to 4000 kilocalories, which is the determinant factor for thermal efficiency. Now the biomass residues are ready with the expected characteristics, record characteristics. Now we have to use it. For that we have created one lab, namely biomass gasifier lab for electric power generation, which is sponsored by DST FIST. So using this biomass gasifier, we are generating 5 kilowatt per hour electricity. For this we are using the biomass residues which are available inside the campus. So using this biomass residues we can generate 5 kilowatt per hour electricity. This is the 5 kilowatt biomass gasifier unit. This is the biomass gasifier. The orange color is the biomass gasifier. The lower part we have to direct combust the biomass residues. Due to direct combustion, the available solid fuel energy is converted into bioenergy, which is fed into 4 filters. Using these 4 filters, we can we can produce the producer gas without any pollutant, and then it is given to the generator, and then due to using the alternator unit, the mechanical energy which is converted into electrical energy. So this is the 5 kilowatt biomass gasifier unit which is sponsored by DST FIST. Generated electricity is used for our lab. This is our UG lab which is running with bioenergy. So our contribution to this society is utilizing the biomass residues available in our campus. We are generating electricity of 5 kilowatt per hour, and the generated electricity is utilized in our lab. And also we invite our neighborhood college and asking them to visit our lab. Thus we are creating awareness of renewable energy resources. For creating awareness of utilization of renewable energy resources to the nearest institution, a Foundation for Education Excellence agency awarded us a Best Renewable Energy Institute Award. Let me conclude this topic in this manner.
every type of energy generation or utilization process affects the environment to some extent, either by directly or indirectly. Since biomass fuel is considered as carbon neutral in nature and the generated electricity is considered as a clear form of energy, by this way of power generation, we can face the three E's, that is environment, energy and economic development in a positive manner. Thank you so much. The next session will be the demonstration for how the 5 kilowatt biomass gasifier is working. Thank you so much.